I have absolutely no idea how to start this. Can you summarize the first semester in one word?
A little life-changing.
Interesting.
Educational.
Crisp.
Crisp?
Crisp.
Exciting.
Fun.
Growth. Crazy.
Shit.
Roller coaster.
Trying.
Very overwhelming.
Easy.
Cheetos.
Enlightening.
Productive. Word.
Productive.
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what's up? I'm Haley. I have no idea how I'm gonna go about this video. I have like a list on my computer of like things I want to talk about, but as for like an organization and like structure to this video, I'm kind of lacking that. And you know, I'm not mad about it because I feel like, you know, if I do ramble, it's completely okay, and it'll probably be things that, you know, are worth rambling about, like, or it would be around like what this video is about. Pretty much wanted to film a video recapping or just summarizing my first semester here at college, and to give my advice and just tell you guys what I've learned from my experience so far. I've done a video like this where it's like, how's college going so far, but that was probably in like September, October, and I like had just gotten out of like I guess the more rougher weeks of my first semester, and so I feel like now I've gotten a hold on my first semester and just this school in general and just how I live here and how I am here, and I really want to talk about that. And I think I might even repeat some things that I've said before, but that just shows that it is very important. So I'm gonna kind of go off of my little sticky notes for reference, but if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask me below, ask me in my DMs on my Instagram. I answer every single one of you guys, so be sure to do that and I'll get back to you guys directly. I guess with each little piece of advice I give you guys, it's gonna kind of be a broad understanding of like what I'm gonna say after that. So this whole video is about balance. Literally, college is balance. That's what college equals, balance. You have to learn balance in every aspect of your life. But as for friends and loneliness and being alone, I feel like all of those can go together, and that is a huge balancing factor. And that is that's probably the one thing that most people going into college are afraid of, is are they gonna make friends, and you know, how are they gonna make friends? And I know that some people, you know, when you are in college and you get here and it's really exciting, and then you get in this lonely slump where you're like, I feel so lonely. And even when you're surrounding yourself with people, it could be so lonely. And then also when you are alone by yourself, you just don't want to be, and you want to be out, but then you're even lonelier whenever you're with people, and you're just like, what do I do? Like, you're in this funk and you just don't know how to get out of it. I think all of that comes with being patient with yourself and being compassionate with yourself, and also trusting time and the process, because I learned that the only way for me to truly connect with my friends here that I had made that were surface level at the time was to open myself up completely and to be completely vulnerable with these people. And that obviously also comes with time and like a mutual understanding, because obviously you don't want to open up to someone who's not going to reciprocate that, and you're just going to feel by yourself. But I know that opening up to people and becoming completely vulnerable and transparent with someone is what's going to create a strong friendship, and what's going to actually make you connect with people and feel loved and have a nice community here. And that is so important. And I know by even like, you know, how to find friends in general can be an issue, but what I did was, before I even came to college, my #1 rule was I was going to be open to everything, absolutely everything. I was not holding back at all. I promised myself that. And when I tell you guys I did that full force, there was no going back. I literally I dove in. If you don't, then that's going to lead to loneliness, and that's where you're not going to meet anyone, which can suck so much. And so I went to this huge, like, and even if you go to these things alone, you're still putting yourself out there. You know, I went through recruitment, even though literally not until a month before I went to school, I was not gonna do recruitment at all. I was not thinking about it. It was an absolute no-go for me. But I was like, why not? Why not at least just go through it? And then I ended up making my 3 best friends, Margaret, Olivia, and Bella. And then I also went to like these what do you call that club thing, meeting, where just so many clubs that you can like get to know and all that. I didn't join any clubs per se, but I did meet people through that, and I was just like, you know, you just at least know about the campus and what's going on, and just, you know, how you can get involved. And like you can obviously find something that you may like. So I did that, get people's numbers from my classes, and I would actually reach out to those people and be like, hey, do you want to study for this? And I made so many friends. Like I have a whole group with Coco, Ivy, and all of them where I met through my classes. And then I met Cassidy through that, who is now one of my very best friends, who I am inseparable from. She's literally become like my other half. And so like and then if I have like things, like I do yoga almost every day, and so I find people who like that and we go do that. And so it's just putting yourself out there and not being afraid to do that. Pretty much goes in with my second one, which is something that you guys heard so much in my last video, and it is to, oh, it's pretty much your comfort zone will kill you, but also to do what scares you, which I talked about in my what does 2019 mean. And that in and itself this year has already benefited my life. I will like find myself being so overwhelmed and stressed and like so in my head, and then I'll be like, why? And it's fear. It's always fear. It's always fear. And whenever I think like, okay, well, how do I stop this feeling? How do I get out of this funk? How do I, whatever, I always just have to get out of my comfort zone. I always just have to do what scares me. And once I do that, I feel 110% better than I did before. I am not lying to you guys. So by getting out of your comfort zone, and I know that's easier said than done for a lot of people, but if you can just get in that mindset and just keep practicing that, you realize that how much better it feels after you do what scares you, after you get out of your comfort zone. So that is something that's been so big for me, not only in college, like my first semester, but this year in general. But yeah, definitely my first semester, because even though I've had an amazing experience so far with this school at Loyola and like with these people here who I love so deeply, I had like a rough part, like a rough patch, and I think it was in October, where I was so lonely and I felt so by myself, and I just was so disconnected. And you know, and during those times it's important to step back and not force yourself to do certain things, to also not let yourself delve into this hole for too long. That and you're like in your room and you're cooped up all day, it is not ever gonna help you at all. I promise you guys. Finding balance within that is super important, and that's something that I think every person has to learn. As much as you can hear advice and watch videos about this, you're gonna go through it yourself, and then you're gonna tell your friends or whoever about this experience. You know, it's not something that you can just like, I mean, yes, you can take an advice and you can remember that for whenever you're going through this stuff, but you're going to go through it, you know, and you're gonna come back to these videos and you're gonna have to learn for yourself, because we all think differently, we all have different brains, we're all structured differently, and we're all very complex in the way we think. And so you cannot go off what another person did and think that that's gonna work for you, because I mean, yes, maybe some parts of it will, but you have to learn yourself. So I mean, I hope this video is going to help you guys in general, but overall I understand that this is a personal learning experience, and it should be. This is all so important for growth, and college is a growing period. That's what it is. It's, you know, I understand how, like, I right now am still undecided, and I'm exploring classes, but I get in these freakouts where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Like, I want to be this actress, and I'm also doing YouTube, and I love psychology, sociology, I love all these things, and I get so overwhelmed. But then I step back and I think, I am in school for this reason. You know, I'm not in school to just like, you know what I mean? Like, I am learning what I love. This is what this is. I'm gonna use this to my advantage. I'm not just gonna stress over it. I'm gonna take it and be appreciative of this opportunity, and, you know, explore what I can, and like all this other stuff, and learn what I can, and take in all that I can, and just use this time to my absolute advantage. And that's what I've been doing, and it seriously has not done me wrong so far. So again, trusting time and trusting the process is so incredibly important. It's something that I always like to go back to. Whenever I get in these funks, I don't keep them in my head. I'll call literally all of my best friends, and I will cry on the phone, or I'll cry with my mom, and I'll talk about it. I'll verbalize it. I'll get it out in the air, so it's not just in my head, and I'll listen to these people. But then I'll also, after, I'll take self-care, you know, I'll take care of myself, and I'll write, I'll journal, I'll meditate, I'll do these things, because I've learned over time that this is what helps me, and I know it will help you guys. Like, at the end of the day, I don't just get on my phone. I literally have stacks of journals and books right here that I go through. Like, when I tell you I go through each and every one of these every night, that's not a joke. I have to do these things to align myself again and put myself back in order and back in a state of content, or else I will go to sleep in such a bad state of mind. And so just learning all of these things and just making sure you're taking care of yourself and learning what helps you release this really hyper energy is so important, and something that you will again learn over time. And I just am blessed that I have found yoga and meditation to help me with them, because they are so, oh my god, amazing. You are going to change, because whenever you step into college and you're here for a little minute, you realize that your whole life is already changed without you even wanting it to. I mean, unless you haven't, you know, moved out of the house, but you are in a new living space. You are living with someone that you just met, unless it's a friend. You know, this is like just like the normal, the norm. You're living somewhere new. You're living with someone you've never met. You're having to adjust to a new place. If you're moving out of state or out of the city or just anything, you're having to adjust to the location around you, to new people and seeing people every day, and also having to adjust to living in the same place of where you go to school, and having to find balance and realize how much you spend with your people and how much you spend by yourself, and where you do work, and you know, you break up that time of when you do work and playtime and all that. You are having to change so much in your life already that you cannot expect yourself personally to not change. That is not going to happen. You are going to grow from these things and learn from these things and take these lessons, and they're gonna attribute to your life, and whether you like that change to happen or not is what's going to affect you. If you are not willing to allow that change to happen, you are just not going to be happy. You're not going to be content. But if you go with it and you let that take over you and think of it as a positive thing, then that's what's going to benefit your life, and that's where you're going to go places, because throughout your life you're going to be changing. And if you're not keeping up with it and you're not being okay with it, and what I think most people get confused about is when we change as people, which is always a good thing, because I'm sorry, I would not want to be who I was a year ago, then people think that the people in your life change, and that's when the problem comes. Let me just say one thing. I am best friends with the same people I'm best friends with back home. Allison, Macy, Stevie, Kate, Maddie, Emma. Those are still my people, you know what I mean? I have other people here too that are also my best friends, and so it's like those don't change. It is just adding on to my life. Literally just, I'm like a flower. We're all sprouting, and these are just leaves coming off of us, you know what I mean? And like, that's going to continue to happen. And then also with content, no one said anything negative about it, but people, I do notice, they're like, I miss these videos, but I also love this because of your positive energy, your positive friends, and like, that's what I love to see, because I know my content is changing. I'm aware that I'm not doing the same videos I did a month ago, but the thing about art and the thing about your craft is that it's going to change as you change. As you grow, it's going to grow, and that is what's so important and what's so beautiful about art, and like honing into what you love, because you can see yourself develop as a human and see like your good times, your bad times, when you're most creative, when you're most in your slump, and you can just see that right in front of you with your own art. And I think that's what's so important, because I was, you know, back in high school when I was like freshman, sophomore, maybe even a little bit, ooh, I'm falling, maybe even a little bit junior year, I did videos I A, was not proud of, B, did not want to do at all, and C, didn't see anyone also enjoying it. Is that what I'm trying to say? Because I was not passionate about it. I did not want to be posting the videos or filming the videos I wanted to do. It was like when I was editing it was so, and that's how I felt all the time. And there came a point where I was like, F this, like, I'm gonna do what I love, and if no one likes it, then so be it. This is for me. This is document my life. And honestly, when I edit videos that I enjoy editing and I have fun with, that is what makes me happy. I will not go to sleep. I will not eat, drink. I will be so concentrated on this video or this edit or this certain clip, and that is what I thrive off of. That is this groove I get into, that I live off of it. I just love it so much, and I get so incredibly happy when I know that you guys enjoy them, and it just makes it all the more better, because I can keep creating these videos and not get any audience and still be okay with it. But when people still benefit from my videos and still find joy in them, I can't even. So this goes back to changing. So I told you guys this would be a ramble, but yeah, that, I mean, it was kind of a video just like I wanted to talk about my first semester, but it also, I hope I just gave out some things that you guys can take. Definitely a ramble video, but if you guys have any actual direct questions, be sure to leave them below because I will talk to you guys directly and answer your questions. I'm thinking at the end of the year I'll do another video with friends, kind of answering more questions, like another Q&A, so look out for that. But for now, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so incredibly much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.